A man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of the estate that falls to me." So he divided his wealth between them. And not many days later, the younger son gathered everything together and went on a journey into a distant country. And there he squandered his estate with loose living. Now when he had spent everything, a severe famine occurred in that country, and he began to be impoverished. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, and he sent him into the fields to feed swine. And he would have gladly filled his stomach with the pods that the swine were eating, and no one was giving anything to him. But when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired men have more than enough bread, but I am dying here with hunger? I will get up and go to my father, and will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired men.' So he got up and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion for him. And ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his slaves, "Quickly, bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and sandals on his feet, and bring the fattened calf, kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead, and has come to life again. He was lost, and has been found." And they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field, and when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. And he summoned one of the servants, and began inquiring what these things could be. And he said to him, "Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf, because he has received him back safe and sound." But he became angry, and was not willing to go in. And his father came out and began pleading with him. But he answered and said to his father, "Look, for so many years I have been serving you, and I have never neglected a command of yours. And yet you have never given me a young goat, so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your wealth with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him." And he said to him, "Son, you have always been with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, for this brother of yours was dead, and has begun to live, and was lost, and has been found."
To a Jewish audience in Jesus' day, what this son did was disgraceful. Asking for his inheritance while his father is living, that's like wishing your father was dead. It was unbelievably disgraceful and humiliating. And the kid was rebellious. He turned his back on his family, went to a faraway land, left his community. That means he detached. And at that time, to detach from family and community, that was like leaving your identity. Your identity was part of that attachment. And he turned his back on the very people that had nurtured him. And he went to this faraway land and then was shamefully and foolishly throwing away the gift of his father's inheritance on prostitutes. And then stooped to the lowest of the low. As being a Jew, to be feeding pigs, it's like an affront to God. I mean, this kid deserved what he got. His father, by all rights, should reject him, should never take him back. And his elder brother was right to feel the way he felt. This kid did not deserve mercy and forgiveness. But then, Jesus, he takes this cultural mindset, this religious mindset, and he flips it upside down to show how deeply passionate is the love of the Father for his children, by having the Father in this story show his love in this way, by waiting, watching, praying, no doubt day in and day out for his son. And then he sees him from afar. And he doesn't wait for this boy to come to him, which would be the culturally acceptable thing to do. No. Now here's an old man, and he hikes up his robe, which you don't do that. You don't pull your robes up, but he pulled his robes up to run. It would be an embarrassment to run out into public. But he didn't care about what people thought. His love for his son was greater. So he hiked up his robes and he ran towards his son. He threw his arms around this dirty, smelly kid who'd been living with pigs, showered him with kisses, and then he fell on his neck, weeping. That's socially lowering yourself. But he didn't care what people thought. His love for his son was greater. Bring the best robe for my son, his own best robe, a show of respect. Put a ring on him, like passing his authority to do business, like giving him a power of attorney. And then he throws a feast, he invites the community, kills the fatted calf, which would feed not only his family, but the community. We're talking 60, 70 people. So he's restoring this wayward son to his community. And he has this feast to celebrate the joy of this son returning, of being alive. Pleads with his older son, please come and relish and enjoy this joy that I have, because my son was lost and now he is alive.